Hey, you guys, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. It seriously doesn't shock me that Taylor Swift and I have the same birthday. Sometimes when her songs come out, I'm like, were you in my fucking head? Like I'll write something almost at the same time, something will come out and it's our own stories, but it's like so crazy how parallel they are. But that's, I think, everybody. So, anyway, I didn't really fix this. I wasn't sure what this was. Um, I'm kind of having a interesting day. So, as many of you know, my husband makes all legal plant medicine. Some call it ayahuasca, however you want to pronounce it. Um, but it's not, because it's not the exact same stuff. And all the stuff he uses is legal. It's just the same. Anyway, he'll explain it someday. But if you guys remember, I feel like I'm yelling. I'm trying to be quiet because he's on a journey right now. He said, "Oh yeah, you could do whatever." I'm like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay," but right now I'm kind of like, I don't know. So I almost feel like I want to whisper. Also, I'm shooting this in black and white with my glasses because I really just wanted to read you guys something. And it's like, it went from me like wanting to do a shorts to read you guys something to like having like all of these moments and breakthroughs. And also, um, I'm getting closer to cutting this off. And so I'm trying to appreciate it a little bit more. But I'm actually really, really ready to let it go. I've been ready to let it go for like a year. I mean, there's nothing there. It was beautiful at one point, though. This happened over living home free and, not being able to wash your hair as much and not being able to take care of it the way you want to. And I mean, I could, but I'd be a slave to it. So it was in ponytails a lot, or just like this, or what the fuck am I talking about? I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm trying to talk to you guys about something, but I feel like I'm holding back somehow, if that makes any sense. But I don't know why, because I'm always honest with you guys, and I don't know. Maybe I feel more vulnerable on this channel because they're having me put my face on. We're on the magical medium. I do sometimes, but this is different. This is real. This is my life. So, another thing I wanted to talk about was that every time he journeys, I usually don't have a super great experience, which is kind of tough, because, you want to hold space for somebody, but at the same time, it's like I'm an empath. So it was like, I'd be in her, I'd be like, come on, like fucking stop it, like fucking demons are like flying by me. I'm like, what is going on in this little shack? But yesterday I worked with the fairies. If you haven't seen, I just put out on my Magical Medium channel, there's a link on this channel to it. It says Moon, you can't miss it. It's like a big yellow and moon, and then it says Moon, the Magical Medium. I have free readings over there. And anyway, but I worked with the fairies yesterday for the first quarter moon and setting intentions. We did 5 different readings, 5 cards, and only one reading had more than one card, if I recall. Other things happened though, like essential oils came in and like little teas, like other little messages. It was fun. It was fun. That's when I really love my job. So I'm like, I'm pulling my stuff apart because like that's my work stuff, and this is, my life, Lula's life. But at the same time, I'm always this. I'm not like I put on my hat and, go to work and then I come home and I'm like a different person. I remember one time I was going through a rough patch and I was living with my mom and my stepdad. And my mom said, well, what are you going to wear to the interview? Because, she was trying to get me to get a real job. And I'm like, I don't know. And I tried on this one outfit and she goes, you can see your tattoos on my arms. And I was like, well, that's part of me. And she's like, no one's going to hire you with that. Like, it was just like no one's going to like you. No one's going to hire you. You are worth nothing. Look what you did to yourself. Now look what you did. And I was like, and I finally, thank God I was, old enough in my 30s. And I just looked at her and I said, I don't want to work anywhere that I can't be myself. I don't want to work anywhere that it's like, if this offends you, if my stuff offends you, it's like, look away. It's like, what? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand it. But I'm an artist, so that's why I don't understand it. And then that's when it started to dawn on me. I thought I was being super clever. So I took my clothes and all of my work clothes I put on one side of the closet, and I put them because I was frustrated because I was like kind of going through stuff and like trying to figure out what I was going to wear. And and so I just had this epiphany, one day after I divided everything, and there was way more fun, awesome, like play clothes, my clothes, than there were the, suits and the things like that for my Monday through Friday 9 to 5. And it just dawned on me. I'm like, I don't want to work anywhere where I can't wear my clothes, like what I would want to wear. And people are like, well, you can still wear suits and like, jazz it up and stuff with like scarves and your jewelry and all that. And I was like, yeah, but if I want to fucking wear a fedora hat to work, I should be able to wear a fedora hat to work. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know what I mean? It's like, I should be able to wear that. I mean, it's like so weird. Why would you not be able to wear what you want to wear every day all the time? That's interesting. So, maybe that's what this was about. I don't know. I'm like, how the fuck did we get here? But anyway, the other cool thing is, because I played with the fairies on that reading I was telling you about, it was really powerful. And the fairies have been here, and when I'm done, I always say, whoever wants to hang out or, whatever, if you want to do some more work. And so the fairies have just been like hanging strong with me. And it's interesting because he's been journeying, and I can tell it's a pretty heavy one. That I can tell, but I've only a few times had to be like, whoa, motherfucker, like I'm like, I'm Southside, so I'm like, do not make me fucking cut a bitch. I'm like, because I'm like, I'm in my house doing my fucking dishes. Like, don't you come out of somewhere and try and hurt me in my own house, But all of a sudden I realized something. I'm like, I've changed. Those other times I took it on because I was still going through stuff. And I've been going through stuff. I'm like, I feel like I almost can't see this. And I've been going through stuff for such a long time. And each time I have another breakthrough or an epiphany, I chisel just a little bit more off. And then more love comes in. And so when the darkness was coming for me, at first I was just like, it was like a pesky fly. I was just like, where before I'd be like, now I was like, get the fuck out of me, all of a sudden it was just like, come out wherever you are. Meet the fine lady who fell from a star. Remember the Wizard of Oz? That came in the reading yesterday. I don't know which one it was. Might have been the... Anyway, also I'm doing things differently. They have me do like a main reading that to like take you to the readings, and then they're having me do different like actual videos for the readings and posting them. So I think they're going to at least this time they had me release the main reading, and then the links are in the description box. But then I think tomorrow they're going to have me go boom, 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 and like put them out there, because I think they're meant to go out into the universe, because maybe somebody's not meant to watch the whole beginning of it, but some people are. Some people love the collective readings, messages from spirit, while they're deciding which reading they want to, go to. And some people just want it right up front, and that's okay. Everybody's on different, like, levels of their journey. So it was just kind of cool, and I wanted to share that with you guys, because I was like, we just have to have a good time and not take shit so fucking seriously. And I know it's hard when it's happening because it's so real, I get it. I do. But I want to read this thing to you. Little rhyme there. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. That was said by Will Rogers. And Spirit had me right after it, get up and move. Interesting. So for some of you, it could be like get up and dance, For some of you, it's like get up and move. Like move out of your house, move locations, move cities, move countries, move planets. Maybe you're done here. Maybe you're meant to go somewhere else. I'm just having more fun with it lately. You know, I'm just having more fun with it lately. I don't know how long I have. And there's this part inside of me that feels like a ticking time bomb. And I've had it all my life, you know, because I go through a lot of changes, but each one feels different. And each one feels more significant when it happens. And this one, I don't know. It's like, I almost felt like it went ka-chunk, and it's like either I'm just like now into that phase and like I've got like 15 more years to go, or like I'm in this phase and I don't know how much more. But I always kind of, I don't know why, but I've never pictured me old. And my mom says everybody says that, and I know what she means, but I'm like, no, I mean, I've tried. I want to be old. Like, you know, different times in my life, I've wondered what that would be like, you know. And now that I feel like I'm finally figuring things out, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I want to be like Betty White. I want to be like 90 and be like, yeah, dude, fuck off. Like, she's hilarious. Like, you know, we need that. We need to show that age doesn't, you know, matter, you know, in some ways. And in some ways, it doesn't matter at all. In most ways, it doesn't matter at all. But in some ways, it does. It's respect. It's just respect. So even if you're on the right track, it's like maybe you're like, how come I'm not moving, or how come things aren't working? You know, maybe it's because you gotta change tracks. You're on the right track, like you're going in the right direction, but like instead of going the northern route, maybe you're meant to go the southern route, or instead of the southern route, maybe you're meant to go the northern route. I remember the first time I did cross country from Chicago to Los Angeles, I did the southern route, right? Because I was like, oh, yeah, I want to fucking like go through. I always wanted to go through New Mexico and like all that. So, long story short, I did that. And then the next time I did it, I did the northern route, and it was so different. And it was just so different. I mean, they were just completely night and day, you know, because you're dealing with like Southwest, you know, and then like, you know, the Northwest. Just a very different, you know, not even fully West, but just so different. And I was thinking about how much I've traveled and where I've gone. And I haven't even gone nearly as many places as most, not most people, but a lot of people have gone, or most people dream of, I meant to say. But I've been around enough to know that times, they're changing, and they're changing everywhere. And welcome to the new subscribers. And I'm excited for the new subscribers on the Magical Medium too, because I feel like we're really growing and building in strength and numbers. And you know, it's just really time for us to be ourselves and wake up, pretty much. So yeah, keep going so you don't get run over. Maybe you just have to take another tack, another way. Like today, I could have let that bother me and gone down to the darkness with him while he's working through his shadow. He's doing, because he's doing shadow work. So when you have two light workers staying in a small 35 by 10 foot RV, maybe 12 feet, I don't know. It's a lot of energy. Also, Bubba, you know, we have Bubba the Great, my familiar, but she's like our familiar now. And she's a Maine Coon. And she's 13. She's powerful. So we've got a lot of energy in here. And then all the crystals and just everything, all of our tools, our essential oils, our foods, everything. Everything has energy. But I'm starting to really respect and understand the boundaries of energy, when to take it, when to like, you know, hold it, you know. But if you're like, she can't hold, that means not that you're doing it wrong, but that like something's not right. You're doing too much. If you're overwhelmed and you're feeling anxiety, there's somewhere in your life where you got to back up and push back. You can do it lovingly. If you push back lovingly, you won't feel the, oh, you know. I always think of Scotty, seriously, when he's like, she won't hold. It's true, because it's like we get to that point where it's like, oh, the anxiety, the depression, everybody's energy. And if you're an empath like I am, an energy worker, light worker, or whatever terminology, or just, you know, alive on the planet right now, you know, this shit is real. Like we can't, you know, we can't deny it. It's here. But I don't always post links. But today is a special link because I am in love with, I think it's pronounced Jonna Hinton, but it's Jonah, Jonna, and then it looks like Jinton, but it's Hinton, Jinton, I believe. I love this person, this beautiful, beautiful angel, archangel soul. And the last few videos that they've put out are just masterpieces. And the one they put out today was so beautiful. It was just like, I was just bawling. It was amazing. So I'm going to put a link in the description box. I highly recommend you check them out. Just the fact that like she hits 4 million subscribers, and to celebrate, she has all of her people send in videos of what they want to say to her 4 million subscribers for the new year. I mean, it was like, it was life changing. I didn't even finish watching it. It was like, I was like bawling. So I'll put that in the description box. But what the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Right? And if they pull me to, I'll put that song below too, because that's another one. But, I mean, I believe personally that we've gone over the hump of darkness. It doesn't seem like that, but I believe we have. I do not believe, actually, I wanted to ask Spirit something. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask Spirit about that the other day, because I was like, I really genuinely feel that we are on the light side of it now. I do feel like, you know, there are so many people that want love, that want to give love, that are understanding that everyone's hurting or somebody's suffering. And now we all see the fakery and the fuckery of like apps and how you can fake things. And, you know, the reality TV, they said the reality TV would be the end of us, but I think it was the beginning in a weird way. It was like the beginning of us so we can see ourselves. It was like the biggest fucking mirror we could ever see in our lives. It's like, Shazam. And it's like, you know, are people really like that? And it's like, I don't know. Are they? You know what I mean? People are going to show you who they want you to see. Remember that. And my mom used to always say, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them, especially upon the first meeting. Now, that doesn't mean that you just automatically cut them out, right? But there's a difference. There's a difference. I feel like I'm like, I got to get real here. There is a difference. I'm like blocking anybody trying to zing my third eye. No, seriously though. There is a major difference to somebody who's having a bad, shitty day. Two scenarios. Both having a bad, shitty day. Somebody's having a shitty day. They're like, what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. You fucking did this. It's you. You did this. You. And you're like, oh my gosh. And you're like, but, and they're like, no. And you're like, ugh. That lives inside of them. Now, you may meet them at another time and they're cool as a cucumber at a dinner party, and you're like, somebody invites them over as their new boyfriend. You're like, dude, I know that dude. He's like, you know, he's like, hey, how you doing? You know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, just know that he could be both Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? Like, he could be that ragey person and he could be that really nice person. But if you get him mad, you know, that's some scary motherfucking shit. That's somebody who is like, not like, does not have peace inside their soul. They're just like waiting to go off. Then there's someone like me, right? I'm not, you know what I'm saying. But like, if I'm like, what the fuck, man? And somebody's like, and they're like trying to help me, I'd be like, oh, thanks, man. I'm just having a rough day. You know, it's like, I wouldn't be like, fuck yeah, you know. Sometimes when I was in my real dark, when my partner and I would fight, yeah, it can get ugly like that. But for the most part, no, it's like, you know, I feel like that ragey part of me is gone. Now, have I seen her resurface a little since I like have thought that she is gone? Yes. But I diffused her faster and I understood what was happening, and I like quickly asked Spirit, like, what do I need to see right now so I can diffuse the situation? It was like, bam. So I know that I'm on the path of healing it. But if someone's not on the path of healing, there's nothing you can do about it. I will always continue to grow, because what I realize is I've had this beautiful heart chakra since I was a kid. It was just beaten out of me. You know, I loved too much. I gave too much. I needed to stop. I, you know, was going to get taken advantage of. People were going to be mean to me. That's what my family and friends said to me. And so I had bosses who were like, you're too nice. Why are you so nice to that customer? I'm like, because I don't know what kind of day they're having. It's really cold in here. I'm like, I don't know what kind of day they're having, right? Like, they could be having like the worst day of their life. And, that's okay. And then there's some people who are like raging like lunatics. And I'm like, yeah, I'll say to my boss, like, they need to leave or you need to move my station. You know what I mean? Like when I used to wait tables. Because sometimes people just want to come in. When you work in public service, some people just want to fucking come in and take their shit out on you. They don't have a right to do that. Luckily, I was in most jobs that were like, yeah, you don't have to put up with that. Like, nobody should have to put up with that. That's like, that's your issue. If you know what I mean? But I've done all those things, and it takes, like, what's that old saying? It takes one to know one. That's why it's like I've seen my horrible fakery and fuckery behavior. It's like, and I know that that lives inside of here, but now I just know how to handle her differently. I know how to deal with it differently. Like my inner child, right, is like, it doesn't need to scream and yell and be heard and seen the way I felt like I need to be heard and seen before. But that's okay because that's when you're working through something. Anyway, basically the long and short of today is that I'm really proud of my husband and myself. We have been through so much together, and I'm so proud of us individually and together as a couple. And I'm really learning what marriage means. I think this relationship has taught me more about love than an unconditional love than I ever knew was possible for myself or someone else. So, yeah, I'm getting excited to see what the new me is, because I feel like I'm changing really fast here, but I feel like this is like an old version of me. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Oh, and I have some cool, exciting things coming up soon, but I don't want to say anything until it's happening. But there's some cool things that are going to be happening, so stay tuned. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. Thank you for listening to this ramble, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh.